Okay, welcome back everybody to another Rhino League. Pretty much the same list as the last league this time, but I've removed the two Become Immense for an Arcane Proxy and a Prismari Command, just trying these out really. The Become Immense did feel pretty good, and I wouldn't be averse to running them, but just seeing if they're the kind of flex slots at the moment, so just seeing if they're the right ones. So Prismari Command, there's a lot of hammer running around at the moment. Just a way to deal with artifacts in the main is probably pretty good. And Arcane Proxy just a bit more for, the longer matchups where you get to cast Crashing Footfalls from the graveyard. But other than that, the list is pretty much stock now for this team list. Seasoned Pyromancer is the other two kind of flex slots at the moment, but yeah, really like having access to those. So let's see how we get on. Thanks everyone for subscribing, those of you that have recently, and those that continue to do so. If you haven't, please do consider doing so. It does mean a lot. Playing a lot of Modern at the moment in preparation for the Axion Now Mega Modern coming up, which offers 4 qualification slots to the next regional championship, which I believe is in Athens. So let me know if you're going to be there as well. And yeah, really enjoying playing some Rhinos. I think this is the front runner for the list for the deck I'm going to play there. So yeah, let's get into it. See how we can do in this league. Right, interesting hand we're here. We don't really know what we're against. We're going to keep it though. We've got ice on turn. Well, our turn 1 essentially. We've got a removal spell. We'll keep it. We're going to keep the land. So we'll put Gemstone Caverns onto the field. And we'll get rid of, I think we'll just get rid of Fury. We've got some draw spells. We've got, okay, Otawara's Proving Ground makes me think this is going to be creativity. Okay, so I think here we're going to go Misty Rainforest, and then in the opponent's upkeep we'll ice this so they can't play Wrenn and 6. What do we want to get? Probably just steam vents here. Let's get ice. Need to obviously draw a Cascader. Seasoned Pyromancer are not too bad. These Dead Gons are kind of bad. Blood Crypt. Could be Thoughtseize. Yeah, okay, so definitely thinking this is going to be Jund creativity. It's possible we should have played the Triome there in case we top deck a Cascader, or to play these 3 drops, but I mean, drew this off the ice to be fair. But yeah, we're not going to be able to make Rhinos this coming turn, which is unfortunate. Prismari Command, good to loot away these 2 Dead Gons. Also good to deal with potential tokens, so they can kill both treasure tokens and dwarves. So maybe we don't loot away. See what the opponent does here. Quite possibly Wrenn and 6. Okay, there's Bitter Reunion. So that implies that, okay, so the opponent's on Persist. Find a land. Okay, so we are in danger of the opponent persisting next turn. We find a land, not the best draw. We'll play it though. We can answer an Archon. We can go return it to hand. Looks like it is going to be Persist here. Oh no, Wrenn and 6. Okay. So we're probably going to cycle our Prismari Command here. I think. Looking for some kind of counterplay. So we'll go cast this. I don't think we want to deal 2 to Ren and 6. I think we'll go make a treasure, draw 2, discard 2. I think that's fine. Okay, so there's some pretty good ones. Let's get rid of... Is it both Dead Gons? I think so, because this deals with tokens as well. Yeah. I think that's fine. And then we'll just go and grab a tap land here. I think it's a breeding pool. So yeah, finding Force of Negation pretty good here. Kind of just on the tempo plan now. Okay, Wooded Foothills, not the best draw. I guess we'll play it. We'll play it so that we don't have to get rid of our treasure if we want to make Seasoned Pyromancer tokens this turn. Okay, so opponent got 6 cards in hand. Persist. Okay, so we're going to force that. They might have another one, of course. Okay, they get a land back. I wonder, I don't think we're meant to Brazen Borrower here. Especially not with the Dwarven Mine there. Okay. So creativity for 2 next turn is very scary. Okay, no Rhinos yet. Okay, Otawara. That's actually pretty good because we can now deal with creativity for 2. We can go return 1 with Otawara, bounce the other one with Brazen Borrower. Okay. We can't deal with it on 3. Transmogrify. Okay, so we'll Petty Theft here. Because then we get to cast Brazen Borrower, start attacking. I think we'll attack them. If they've got another copy of Persist, although they're getting close to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're not far off hard casting Archons here. We could attack Ren and 6. Maybe we will. Okay, no attacks. Let's cast this. Okay. Opponent could have removal in hand, of course. Okay, we get to cast Rhinos this turn. Okay, another Brazen Borrower is actually pretty good. I think now we're just going to go attack them. Pass the turn. Don't really... I mean, Ren and 6 ultimating is a problem, but we can Brazen Borrower it, we can Otawara it, so we're not too concerned about that, I don't think. And then this way we've got lethal next turn. We can deal with okay, so we could channel here, but I don't think we want to do that. Okay, opponent... If they attack, it probably means they've got Bolt. No attacks. Do we go for Brazen Borrower? Brazen Borrower is lethal here. Or we could go Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. So then that's 10, but then they can block 1, but then we can bounce it. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Maybe that's not the way to go. Okay. Well, Fury's pretty good. So we go... Oh yeah, they can make another one. So let's play the Otawara, then we've got 7 mana, Fury and Bounce should be fine. Or we could just go... Yeah, I think that's fine. 1, 2, 3, yeah, play this. Fury. Could be the opponent's just got lands in hand, that's entirely possible. Oh, I did that wrong. Dealt 3 damage to the dwarf instead of dealing 3 to Ren and 6. Okay. Combat. Attack them for 10. Terminate a Rhino, sure. Okay, so they go to 4. So if they go... if they go Archon... Okay, they do have an Archon here. Okay, so we'll return it to hand. Then we don't have to discard. Opponent goes to 7. We haven't quite got lethal. Sack one of these. Like another creativity is probably game over. They can block the Fury with... They could ping this, block this, take 4. Dead to... they'll go to 6. They'd be dead to something like Fire Ice. 1, 2, 3. What's this? Fable. Okay. So that's a blocker. Maybe we should have played the Brazen Borrower before. Okay. So they've got the Goblin. Okay, they can make 2 Dwarves. I think we're just attacking with everything here. Okay, they kill the Elemental, which makes sense. They go to 6. They probably have Bolt as well for the Fury. Another Ren and 6. Sure. Could just be lands in hand, of course. Okay, so another Fury is really good here. Alright, let's see what we draw. Fire Ice also pretty good. We just draw a land. So we're just attacking with everything. Then we'll play the land. Blocks, takes 2. Goes to 4. No, we'll leave the land in hand. We don't really mind about discarding it. It just might give the opponent, you know, they might go for a Thoughtseize or... So discard a Ren and 6 and a Fable, draw 2, 1. Okay, they make another Dwarf. 1, 2, 4. They've got enough to just hard cast the Archon now. Have have they activated Renin 6 yet? It doesn't matter, so let's go... We'll let that hit the battlefield. Then we'll cast this. We'll sacrifice the Brazen Borrower, because they can just ping that. Get rid of the land. Opponent at 7. It's probably pretty hard to win now. Hopefully they don't have Bolt. Oh, Bitter Reunion. Oh, that just wins, right? Yeah. Okay. So maybe we needed to keep that. They go to 9. We sacrifice both of these. We only got Brazen Borrower. Yeah, that was... Okay. Well, we've got a decent sideboard against this, so... all the Blood Moons come in, all the Endurances come in. So yeah, I definitely want those things. I think Fury's bad, being at sorcery speed. Prismari Command's fine. Arcane Proxy, potentially a bit slow. I think Fire Ice is good. Dead Gone is okay. Seasoned Pyromancer. I think we just cut all of the kind of slower cards. I think we're going to be the aggro plan here. Mystical Dispute would obviously come in if the opponent was on blue-based creativity. It's, you know, Teemo or whatever. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. And it's got 2 Cascaders, Blood Moon. So let's play out this past the turn. We'll go and get a Triome. It's even got Endurance as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see us get Thoughtseize though. Okay, no Thoughtseize turn 1, which is nice. So the question is, do we go for Rhinos or Blood Moon on... Oh, that's a really nice draw. Yeah, that's really, really good. It's one of the best draws we could have had there, I think. So we'll go and grab a forest here. They could have Veil of Summer, I guess. Okay, Stomping Ground. So do we go Blood Moon? Blood Moon's worse into Fable. They can't go Persist next turn, so I think we're just going to go Shardless Agent here, and then Blood Moon next turn. I mean, Blood Moon does shut them out quite a lot. I think I'm just going to go. I think I'm going to go Shardless Agent here. You know, just dump 10 power onto the field. Maybe this is bad into something like Hidetsugu. Yeah, actually, we probably should have just gone. We should have just waited on Violent Outburst there, because if the opponent now goes Hidetsugu, we're in pretty deep trouble. Okay. Okay, they don't have anything. So we'll attack for 10. So we don't have Endurance up. Terminate a Rhino, sure. So, yeah, I think we're just going to go Blood Moon here. So we'll fetch an island. Let's go Blood Moon. Sometimes they run a basic swamp, but it's really not common. So yeah, the The thing there, we could have gone violent, hold up Violent Outburst, but I think this is much better. The opponent, if they go Fable now, we just bounce it and then play Violent Outburst. 4 mana here. Not sure what this is. Transmogrify. Okay. We'll have a Brazen Borrower instead of a Rhino. I guess I get to see some of our deck, how we sideboarded. Okay, play this. Now we can... Well... We've got Force as well now, so just go... Violent Outburst. Make some more Rhinos. Hit them for 7. Holding up Brazen Borrower and Force of Negation here. Can't imagine there's too much they can do. Creativity. I mean, we'll just force that, shall we? Rather than showing them more of our deck. I mean, we showed them quite a lot anyway. Okay, so I don't think we change anything on the play, on the draw, just ship it straight back. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one. I think we can just about keep this. We can go suspend Rhinos on 1. We've got Dead Gone and Endurance. I mean, if they thought seize us, obviously all of our plans go a little bit awry. If they take Endurance, it probably means they've got... Okay, so they don't take the Endurance. Okay, we draw Basic Forest, which is a bit awkward because we kind of wanted to fetch that here. So, if we play it, well, we could just fetch up. We're going to have to fetch red mana at some point, but we could fetch a basic. Now, let's fetch red-green here. Yeah. This could be an error because, I don't know, if the opponent goes Bitter Reunion, get rid of Archon, we then need to draw a green card, but given that they didn't take the Endurance... Okay. That's a rubbish draw. So we want to save this to go and get... Yeah, we want to save the Misty to go and get Basic Island in case we draw... yeah, in case you draw Blood Moon. Okay, so they play the Boseiju. Necromancer. Okay, so pretty much all in on this Endurance now. The opponent can't Creativity next turn. And we have got Crashing Footfalls on Suspend, so it's not the worst. So drawing Blood Moon is one of our best draws. Okay, so yeah, Blood Moon, we don't mind drawing Force either. So this shows the opponent hasn't got another land in hand. Or they're saving a fetch land to try and find more mountains. Okay, find Otawara. So they know we've got this forest now. But we'll play this because, well, just getting more lands out of our deck. Because we don't want to draw any more. If the opponent thought seizes, well, obviously Endurance. think we're going to endurance here anyway. I think that's probably fine. So let's go and grab an island. Cast endurance. I think. Do we want to put there? Yeah, we'll stick there. Graveyard in. Okay. So we've got Rhinos coming in next turn. Okay, Fire Ice is actually really quite good. We don't have double red in case we need it, but I think we'll just play the forest. Attack for 3. So the question is, do we ice a land here to stop them going Bitter Reunion, Persist? I don't think so, because fire is also good at dealing with tokens. I wonder if we want to use it now. I don't think so. So we could ice here. No, I think keeping it's fine. So we get to make some Rhinos. Okay, double ice. That's pretty good. So let's play the Gemstone Caverns. Attack here. So do we ice a land? I don't think so. No, I think we're fine holding here. Because then we can also go, if they go fetch land, make 2 tokens, creativity for 2, we can go Dead Gone 1, Otawara the other. Don't know what the opponent's got in hand. But we do have quite a lot of burn. If the opponent doesn't do anything, we'll fire them end of turn. I think. Okay, yeah, I think so. Fire. Okay, untap, draw Misty Rainforest. Well, we'll play it. And yeah, opponent just can't do anything. You know, they might have had one removal spell for one of these, but with the fire, it doesn't quite make endurance lethal, but it makes both of these Rhinos lethal. So yeah, okay, good to get the win against Creativity game 1. See you for the next one. Okay, we're on the play here. We're going to keep this hand. If all goes well, we've got a very good curve. You know, we can kill something, ice a land, hopefully find our land, and Violent Outburst on turn 3. We've got an extra draw at it with the Fire Ice. Haywire Might. Okay, I think we're just going to kill that. This is possibly Hammer. What are we going to go and get? I think just Steam Vents here. Yeah, and then we'll just go kill this. They gain 2 life. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to have to draw a land somehow here. I think you can just fetch basic forest. Yeah, let's fetch basic forest. And then go ice this. Show me a land. Okay, we find a land, that's really good. Okay, draw. Okay, force is really nice. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. See what the opponent does. No reason to Stoneforge. Okay, that's fine. We can dead gone that. Next turn. See what they get. They get Caldra, which is fine. No third land either. So I don't think we've got any double green spells. We want Island. Is it Breeding Pool? No, I think it's just Island. Preserve our life total. Yeah, we'll just get Island here. Cast the Footfalls. Make 8 power. Okay, dead this. Are we going to bother suspending? I think I'd rather just hold. I don't think the game's going to go long enough where suspending will matter. So holding up Brazen Borrower is probably just better. Another Stoneforge. So yeah, we're gonna Brazen Borrower that one. Still no land for the opponent. So yeah, we're just kind of tempoing them out here. You know, they get to search for another thing this way, but that's fine because we're beating them down with 8 power a time. And they have to discard 2 cards here. So okay, Caldra Blacksmith skill. So yeah, definitely definitely hammer here. Attack for another 8. Put them to 6. If they play a Stoneforge again, we can just leave it. Okay, there's a Saga. Okay, and yeah, nothing else to be done there. Okay, so pretty clear sideboard plan against hammer, I think. So I think it's usually just Force of Vigor in, Force of Negation out. And then yeah, pretty happy with that. The Prismari Command here, really liking that. Okay, what do we think of this one? I think weirdly this is a mulligan. We're really cold to a turn 1 Sentinel. We haven't got Force. Prismari Command's good. It's very close. If one of these lands was Gemstone Caverns, it's a snap keep. But I think I'm going to try and do better. And yeah, this hand is quite a lot better. Yeah, okay, so we'll keep this. And then I think we're just going to get rid of Borrower here. Because then we can go Fury pitch dead gone, Force pitch this. Yeah, I think that's okay. But the land base on this isn't great. We'll see if we draw another green card, we can suspend the Footfalls. Or if they play nothing, maybe. Okay, Giver of Runes, so we could really do with finding a land here. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so because we have to kill this. What do we want? It's definitely. Yeah, let's go get this one. Do we suspend here? No, I think it's just dead. Kill this. Okay. See what they do here. We've got Force up. Pure Steel. Okay. Okay, well, we like these draws. We'll play Otawara here. We could play Boseiju, hold up and then suspend, but I think we just need to keep going with the Force of Negation, Force of Vigor even. What's this? Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. Okay, that's okay. And another giver. Right, so now if we can find... that's a 1/3 weirdly as well. Okay. Opponents only got one card in hand. Okay, so let's play Boseiju. We'll suspend here because we can't do anything else. And hopefully we'll find a way to deal with this Dranith Magistrate at some point. This doesn't do anything like if no mana is cast, no. Shadow Spear. Gonna equip. Okay, that's fine. Not doing anything with that. So not really sure what we're looking for here. A red card is okay. Another Force of Vigor. Okay, well this is pretty rough. So we need, yeah. Ooh, now that's a juicy target. I think I'm just going to force now. Get rid of Crashing Footfalls. Yeah, so they get this less mana this turn this way. So they can't crack the other Horizon Canopy. Okay, attacks for 1. So Brazen Borrower pretty good. Okay, we don't actually mind a land here. You know, we've got Force of Vigor. Okay, we've got a couple of draw steps to find. Oh, that's so tempting, but I think we want to get a 2-for-1 with that. Okay, we're only taking 1 a turn. I think we're going to keep just going, because if the opponent next turn just uses their entire turn to just make a Saga token, I think that's fine. We've got double green. We need more blue and red. I think we'll keep the Ketria Triome in the deck to cycle, although actually if we find another land we can hard cast this Fury. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go. Should we just get Mountain? Yeah, I think that's, or is it Forest? Let's get Forest actually. Mountain. Yeah, Forest just means I think we're more likely to need more green mana. So here we have to kill the Giver of Runes. Obviously, this stops the Dranith Magistrate from attacking, which is nice. It's a good backup threat. We're going to lose the Rhinos, unfortunately. Okay, Haywire Might. Okay. Yeah, we're going to lose the Rhinos here because we can't cast it due to Dranith Magistrate. Okay, so let's attack. Okay, they block here, which is fine. They gain 2. But then they're going to take 2 for the Horizon Canopy, making it as a Saga token. And then once they've done this, so we'll just go Force of Vigor, this. you know, it just kind of time walks them there. They just don't get. Yeah, they use their whole turn to just go all in on that Saga token. Okay, they crack a Canopy, find another land. I doubt the opponent will block. Well, they've held it back, so maybe they will. Well, that's a very good draw. I think we just attack though. Okay. So now we'll go Petty Theft here. They could have Blacksmith Skill, but it costs them life. Yeah, Shardless Agent. Make 10 power. Yeah, draws the concession. So yeah, really happy with that. Yeah, 4 Force of Vigor, pretty good. Yeah, that was definitely hammer. We didn't see any hammers, but we saw Pure Steel Paladins and things. So happy with that. We move on to 2-0. See you for the next round. Okay, so bit of an interesting hand this one. We've got removal into, we've got lots of Furies and stuff. This is very good against a creature deck, but we need to find both a land and a Cascader. So I think I'm going to mulligan. I think we can do better. This is better, but not amazing. We'll get rid of, I think, 1 Shardless Agent. Shardless Agent obviously makes more power, but having Violent Outburst and Shardless Agent, so we can choose which one's best. Okay, so here, this looks like Murktide. Okay, Fury. So we could think about going Suspend Footfalls and then try and Fury 2 things next turn. If they play another Channeler, but they could also counter spell. So I think we're just gonna go grab Steam Vents and kill the Channeler while we can. We don't want to just start taking 3 damage. Worth noting that there's been some things with Murktide recently. They've started running quite a few spell snares, is what I've seen. Okay, well, maybe we should have kept the Fury. So really need to find another land. This is the deck that I really want to focus on trying to beat, I think. Brazen Borrower good against this, obviously, because you can bounce Murktide. Endurance very, very strong out of the sideboard. So happy to have 3 copies. Okay, so yeah, it would have been nice to. Maybe that was the play last time, but it's just so bad. If we take the play of. If we just go Fury, you know, if they then just start bashing us with this, there's not a lot we can do. Okay, so we're going to suspend a Footfalls. The question is, do we Fury here before they can counter spell? Like, I think so. Like, we don't want them to be able to start tempoing us, is what we don't want. I think this is okay. You know, if they can untap with this, they can then just hold up counterspell for the rest of the game and just start beating us down. Or if the game goes a little bit longer, we might be able to eke something out. Don't know. I'm not convinced about either of the. You know, I'm not 100% on either of these 2 plays. Do let me know what you would have done. I mean, it's all very well with hindsight. You know, seeing that they played another Dragon's Rage Channeler, but I think the rationale is sound. But yeah, do let me know in the comments what you'd have done there. Okay, a bit weird that they consider there instead of with Dragon's Rage Channeler still on the field. So what does that tell us? We put one on top, so it probably tells us they've got Spell Pierce. Potentially. Okay, they're looking for lands. So okay, so they find a land. So we really need to draw our 3rd land. Right. Untapped land. Any untapped land? Yes. Fiery Islet's really good here. So we're gonna end of the opponent's turn. Okay, they didn't crack the Flooded Strand, so that implies they don't have Spell Pierce. If they go Shred It, oh, this is Murktide. Okay. How big is it? It's a 5/5. So I don't think they have Spell Pierce. I think they've got Counter Spell. So we'll make some Rhinos. So Brazen Borrower is a good draw. Dead Gone is also a reasonable draw. Maybe they're thinking they just don't care about these. But yeah, opponent thinking, okay, so they are going to do something here. Okay, counterspell. Yeah. Okay, so we'll... Bit awkward that we have to go to being dead in 3 hits, but... Okay, Force isn't actually a bad draw. Okay, so we'll make 10 power here. The opponent smashes us for 5, we hit them for 10. So we do just about win the race, I think. I mean, the opponent can always have... they've probably got a handful of Unholy Heats and stuff. They also don't need to attack, but we've got another Footfalls coming in. Arcane Proxy, good draw here. Okay, Ragavan, not a good draw for the opponent. They could steal a Rhino. Looks like I've got Unholy Heat here. Okay, so that does shift things. I think in the opponent's favour. We get a 10. We've got Rhinos coming in next turn. Well, that's a proxy. Trouble with proxy in this matchup is... If they've got exactly counterspell... I think we go for it though. Trouble with proxy is that counterspell stops the cascade as well, obviously. I think we go for it though. We don't want to hold up Force. We can Force next turn. So let's go cast with Prototype. Okay, so we'll cast Crashing Footfalls. Yeah, cast here. So now we attack with everything. The opponent smashes us for 5 again. The opponent blocks it. Okay, so they take 4, go to 12. But we do have lethal next turn, just about. You know, the opponent can block with Murktide. I guess if they have Bolt Murktide, we lose. Because they can go Bolt us and then cast another Murktide, exile a load of stuff. Okay, Scalding Tarn's fine. No attacks is obviously really good for us. Cast this. Okay, Foothills. So this can't go and get basic island. So we'll play it. We're going to attack with everything here. The opponent will block a Rhino. I suppose we could draw a card, but I think putting them to 10 is fine. Putting them to 2. I think we're just going to hold now. We don't want to. We really don't want to pay any more life because then we're dead to Lightning Bolt. we've got 2 cards in hand. Okay, so we get there. Just kind of tempo them out. Managed to beat a Murktide region. Arcane Proxy came in pretty clutch there, actually. So, yeah, really happy with that one. Okay, let's go to sideboard. Okay, so we want all of the disputes in, all of the endurances in. And then we're going to cut all of the forces. Prismari Command's not great here. Dead Gone's good. I think Fury's not, we don't really want to be 2 for 1ing ourselves that often. Arcane Proxy was good there. They're probably not bringing in Graveyard Hate. It might be 1 Fire Ice. Oh, Brazen Borrower's really good. Dead Gone's fine. It kills Ragavan, which is key. Let's get rid of one of those because it doesn't actually, well, it deals with Murktide as well, I guess, but let's try that. Okay, we see a really nice hand here. Again, we need to find our 3rd land, but this hand kills Ragavan. It has Mystical Dispute in as well, and an Endurance. Yeah, if we can find our next land, we're really, really good here. Okay, so I think we're going to suspend. You know, the games go fairly long. Okay, so this could be, what's it called? Ledger Shredder, which is a problem. Ledger Shredder is one of the better cards against us. You know, it can start blocking Rhinos. We really want to see a land on the top. Yeah, untap preferably. Okay, Scalding Tarn's fine, so we'll pass the turn here. We'll probably fetch a basic island with this. We'll probably counterspell an iteration here, actually. Yeah, we'll definitely counterspell an iteration. Okay, take 2. We're definitely going and getting basic island. We don't want to get blood mooned. Channeler. They got 3 card types. So yeah, we'll go for Dead Gone here. They could try and save it. If they do, they're opening themselves up to... Okay, so that implies they probably have another Flusterstorm or Spell Pierce. So we're just going to main phase Endurance next turn. No. Okay. So we'll let them surveil. They put one on top. Okay, so yeah, we're going to main phase Endurance. They can't counter it, obviously. Well, I don't think there's anything in their deck for 1 mana they can really do here. Okay, we find Boseiju, but we're just going to go and get our basic forest. We just don't want to get cheesed out by Blood Moon. Go Endurance. So Endurance is really, really good against them. I mean, Ledger Shredder is a problem, but this stops them potentially playing Murktide next turn. Stops them attacking with Dragon's Rage Channeler. I mean, they might fill it back up, but... Okay, Iteration. I thought they may have that. But if they find... Delirium, then they have to attack into the Endurance anyway. Then next turn, we've actually got Violent Outburst, hold up Mystical Dispute, which is pretty good. E for 0. When are our Rhinos coming in? Okay, so we can Boseiju that, which is interesting. Which you probably will end up doing. This Ledger Shredder is a massive problem though. Okay, so we find a land which is pretty good. I don't think we're going to attack. So we'll wait for the opponent here. Because we probably want to wait until the end step where we can kind of time warp them because they'll hold up 2 mana. We could go for Violent Outburst, not cast thingy. We go Violent Outburst. They're attacking for 10. They're attacking us for 4. So we could go Violent Outburst, make Rhinos block here. Or we could just go Violent Outburst, try and block. I think we have to kill this, so I think we're going to go here. Do we go and grab Basic Mountain rather than having to fetch Shock? I think so. Violent Outburst. So we don't want to connive here. We don't want them to connive, so we're not going to cast the Crashing Footfalls, which is obviously a bit devastating, but... Oh, it doesn't work. This is 4. Oh, that's rubbish. Oh, that was really... Oh, yeah, that was really bad. Okay. Oh, I just got confused with the power and toughness of this. Yeah, that was really dumb. Because now the opponent can just... yeah, that was just really poor. Yeah, now we have to Boseiju this because the Rhinos are coming in. Yeah, I just got in a right mess there. Yeah. I think we have to go for it now. They'll crack it. But then we're taking enough in the air, so we need to draw endurance really. Are we letting this happen? I think we'll Mystical Dispute here. You know, we need to top... Oh, they get to connive as well. Ledger Shredder is so good against us. I mean, admittedly, I've played really poorly in this game. You discard Spell Pierce. I wonder if they have another Spell Pierce. They're probably happy to just sit on this. They might have Bolt in hand. We'll make some Rhinos. 6, 9. Yeah, we're just dead. Okay, so that was... yeah, I just got confused. I was thinking that Ledger Shredder had 4 toughness, but of course it has more than that. Okay, so... Not really sure. I think we can just ship it back. And yeah, remember Ledger Shredder is pretty good. Okay, this hand's... We're keeping some hands here that, you know, they're a bit dubious in the face of not drawing another land. But this one, you know, we've got a couple of answers to Ledger Shredder. We've got 2 Cascaders. I don't think we can mulligan this. Go and get Breeding Pool. Go that. Pass the turn. Bit weak to Ragavan, which we may end up Brazen Borrowing. Borrowering. Okay, Darcy. We haven't seen Ragavan in this one, I don't think. Maybe we saw it game 1. Okay, we find a land. That's really, really good. So, are we likely to want to bounce, I think we can just go land tapped. Pass the turn. And then having these 2 is really good. We kind of hope they go for Ledger Shredder here. Okay, so they're just going to hold up Counterspell. Okay. We know they've got E as well. Play this, pass the turn. So we can go end of their turn, Violent Outburst. And we could untap and go Shardless Agent, but if they go Counterspell, are we really going to want to walk into a Spell Pierce or a Flusterstorm? We could just bounce this. Not having double blue is awkward here. They might be worried about Endurance as well. So they're attacking. I think we let that go. We'll take 1 because if I don't think there's much chance of hitting Delirium there, but yeah, we'll go for it. Okay, cast that. This will get probably Spell Pierced. Okay, Flusterstorm, so probably have Counterspell. If we find land, so put 1 on top. Really wouldn't mind finding another land here. Okay, well, that is a land. Unfortunately, it's not blue. That's actually pretty annoying. Do we want to go for it here? I don't think so. You know, if the opponent goes... Yeah, blue land would have been so good there. Okay, consider is fine. We've got answers to Murktide. So they've gone top. We are making Rhinos next turn. Okay. Are they going to hit us for 3? Do we Brazen Borrower here? Don't think so, because we need to be able to... Okay, I'm going to go for Brazen Borrower now. Just stop them bashing us continually. We'll dispute like a counter spell here. Cast. Okay. What will we get? Well, Endurance is a good draw. Do we Endurance? I don't think so. Well, Endurance on their end step. They could go EE for 0. Would we try and counter it with Dispute? This looks like Murktide to me. Murktide indeed. So let's go. We could either go. We'll go Dispute because we only get one chance to dispute here. Maybe we should have gone Endurance in their upkeep. So if they counter this, we've then got Brazen Borrower to bounce it. But if we rely on Borrower and they counter that, maybe that would have been better. So you could go EE for 0. We know one of the cards in their hand is... Yep, that one. Well, it is EE for 0, unfortunately. Okay, Unholy Heat. Okay, so we're bashing in with the Rhinos for... Well, see if they take it. They probably won't. Okay, Violent Outburst, decent draw. If they pop the EE here, we really hope they don't. You know, if they're just going to take 8 to kind of time walk us. Don't know, the emphasis on them. If they go for it, okay, they're going to blow up. Okay, so we'll go Shardless Agent now while they're tapped out. Make 10 power. We could consider going Endurance, but I think a 4/4 Murktide isn't our biggest concern. Okay, Shredder's good. So land gives them Delirium. We've got 2 cards in hand. We don't know any of them. We could go Endurance. So they attack. Okay. So we could do with finding Basic Island is really good. Or a fetch land that gets Basic Island. Fiery Islet's not too bad as well. Okay, so we'll just attack with some Rhinos. They get a 6. Pass the turn. Having all this instant speed interaction, we could also flash in Brazen Borrower here. Don't really want to use Fiery Islet unless we really have to. I wonder if we should be Endurancing and they could steal a Rhino. 4 mana. Otawara. Sure. So now I think we just go Endurance because now we're a bit more afraid. Of Murktide. Maybe we should have waited, but I think resolving it is fine. It's a blocker. We could bounce here. What if we go bounce the Shredder? I think that's probably fine, actually. They get to connive. No, they get to Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yeah, I think we'll go for it. Yeah, if they want to spell pierce this, then we're kind of fine with that. Yeah. Okay, maybe we should just waited. But now we get to attack in with everything. And play Arcane Proxy. Potentially. Okay, so let's go attack with everything. They can go block here. Yeah, we'll just attack it with everything. So do we go... I think we're just fine with this. I think the onus is on the opponent to do stuff now. I think we're okay with that. If they go bolt us, we can go this to block. Yeah, okay. So I think the key was... I think the petty theft was possibly an error even, but you know, once we're ahead, I think that's key with Rhinos. When you're ahead, you don't have to do anything. You know, we were just content to just sit there and beat down and force the opponent into action. But resolving endurance here is key. And if the opponent's ever left with just one mana, you know, you've done something and they're left with just one mana, just take the opportunity to hard cast your endurance in your main phase or whatever, because once that's done, you know, it stops them murktiding, it stops them breaching, some of them on breach. So yeah, that felt pretty good. Okay, well, we're 3-0. See you for round number 4. Right, round number 4. We quite like this hand. We got, you know, turn 1 interaction, turn 2 fire, turn 3 Rhinos. So yep, happy with that. So we'll go Scalding Tarn. That way we can leave up dead without having to shock in. Okay, looks like we're against Living End. So yikes. Okay, so Grief here, pitching Living End. This is probably going to be quite hard game 1. If they take the Shardless Agent, we won't be fire icing on turn 2. We'll be doing it turn 3. Yep. Okay, so let's just go grab this. Okay. Okay, another Dead Gone, not the best. So we'll just go Steam Vents. Pass the turn. No point in icing here. The only thing would be if we yeah, the only thing would be if we find like Cascader, but that's not even that good in the face of a turn 3 Cascader from the opponent. Okay, 2 lands. I mean, they could grief us again, I suppose. Looks like that's what they're looking for. No grief coming. Okay, so we'll go shock this in. Oh no, we don't need to shock that in. Pass the turn, then we'll ice one of these lands. We need to find force, really. Ice here. Okay, they cycle again. Okay, another fire ice doesn't really do us any favours. That, however, does. So we'll go land pass. If the opponent's got Violent Outburst, if they've got Shardless Agent, oh, another grief, really? Okay, so now we go for it. We go ice here. But then they just go for it, right? But this means that if they've got Shardless Agent, it doesn't really mean much, actually. That's so bad. Maybe we should have iced them in their upkeep. But exactly another grief is really rough. They take the force. Yeah, and then they just go off, bring back all of that stuff, and we can't really win. We'll make them show us the it was Shardless Agent as well. So they bring back a load of Riverwinders and a couple of griefs. We lose all our spells. We can kill both griefs. Oh no, I guess we're not completely dead. We can't do anything against these. Oh, they've got Architects of Will as well. Maybe we're meant. Oh, we're probably meant to crack the Fiery Islet there. So we go kill. If we draw a Cascader, I think yeah we're just about in it. So let's go kill this. Kill this. We can return like Architects of Will to their hand. Or Street Wraith to their hand, I guess. We can't do anything about these Striped Riverwinders. Actually, we can return Shardless Agent to our hand, which is interesting. So we go block, return to hand, and then make Rhinos. Maybe good, but probably not. So we're probably drawing land here. Yeah, so play that, pass the turn. They probably have force as well. Okay, so we go block, take 8, 12, 17. I mean, they might have another Violent Outburst, which we are just dead to. Okay. Do this. Okay. I think we go to 1. But then we make Rhinos if we find Brazen Borrower. So we can go, yeah, we're just dead. We'll take a draw, I guess. Prismari, so kill, make treasure. But we can't crack this islet. It's weirdly close, because we can kill these two things, make a treasure. If we were on one more point of life, we make tokens. Yeah, we still have to deal with that, but it was closer than it looked, I think. Okay, so the double grief was pretty rough there. But we get some decent sideboard. Okay, so we don't want any of the dead gons. What else don't we want? Seasoned Pyromancer's okay. We want, I think we definitely want all of these endurances, all of these disputes. Prismari Command is okay. Brazen Borrower is not great here. So that's 60. What do we think of Arcane Proxy? Is probably okay. Fire Ice is good. Fury's a bit. Fury's not the best. I think on the play we could probably think about Blood Moon, but they're probably on. Do we think Blood Moon's worth it here? What's it better than? Possibly, maybe let's cut one Arcane Proxy, Seasoned Pyromancer for 3 Blood Moon on the play, and then switch on the draw. I think that's probably fine. I think Blood Moon's fine here. Fury's okay because we can evoke it just to get it into the graveyard. Okay, sadly this is not a keep. One lander. Another one lander. That's really rough. I think we have to mulligan this again. That's better. So we'll keep those. We'll bottom Dispute and Force probably. Opponent's got Leyline of Sanctity. We're probably screwed. Yeah, because that stops endurance. They kept 7 as well. We can't endurance them with Leyline on the field, and we don't really have any ways of getting rid of a Leyline. Okay, we're just going to get the Triome here, I think. Maybe we should have got rid of the endurance, but I think endurance is obviously so good against them that I want to keep it in. Okay, another land's pretty good. Unfortunately, yeah, Force is a bit awkward because we haven't got another blue card. Maybe we should have kept double Force, thinking about Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, I don't. If we find another land, another blue card, it might be that we can play Shardless Agent here. The opponent may also have Force of Negation though. This might be a grief. Okay, nothing so far. Yeah, there's the grief. So they're going to go take Force of Negation. So maybe we should be bringing in Force of Vigor here. Right, we're gonna... I think we'll go and get a basic forest here. Because if we draw Blood Moon, that is a potential way out of this. Footfalls. So if they go Living End next turn... they get Riverwinder, 2 Street Wraiths, Curator. They get a grief as well. So actually, I think, yeah, we're just going to cast it here. But there's no way we can not. You know, the opponent might not have a Cascader in hand. It's quite unlikely, but cast this. Yeah. The opponent's, their hands lined up very well against what we're trying to do, but very good, obviously, heads up play, bringing in the Leyline of Sanctity, stop endurance. Although it's not a massively kept secret that the Rhinos sideboard runs 4 copies of endurance in the sideboard. Subtlety. Well, that's interesting. I guess we put it on the top. Because then we can cascade again if they go for Living End. Bit surprised they brought in Subtlety against us. So what we'll do here is we'll go for the attack. Oh, I suppose we put it on top and then they just grief it out of our hand. Yeah, here we go. I think we're probably dead to this. Two cards in hand for the opponent. Looks like one's a Violent Outburst. We can't endurance them. Okay, so they cast Living End. We could get an endurance, but they're going to have Subtlety, Curator of Mysteries, Grief. Yeah, we just can't do anything here. So yeah, we fall to Living End in match number 4. Mulligan it. Yeah, we mulled to 5. I think we kept a decent 5. I wonder if we're meant to bring in something to deal with this. Maybe. Okay, well, yeah, if anyone has got any advice, things that could have done better there, but I think we played correctly. It was just maybe we were meant to bring in some sort of anti. Oh, I think we cut the borrowers actually. Yeah, okay. So that's what we should do differently. Keep borrower in, maybe at the expense of Blood Moon. Yeah, I think that's we should definitely be keeping borrower in to bounce Leyline. Okay, well we'll learn from that and move on to round number 5, playing for the 4 and 1. Right, I think we can keep this on the play. You know, we got 2 Cascaders, we got Fury in case things, you know, in case we need to deal with something on the board. Yeah, this is fine. Triome pass. Got things to play around Blood Moon as well. Go and fetch Steam Vents if we don't have anything to play on turn 2. Probably fetch Steam Vents anyway, actually. Okay, so opponent just baubles away a card they didn't really want. So I think we'll just play Scalding Tarn pass with the aim of going and grabbing Steam Vents. Then we'll probably get Basic Island with this, just in case it's a main deck Blood Moon kind of thing. No second land for the opponent. Okay, so Steam Vents here. So we'll try and play around Spell Pierce here if we can. Opponent discards Lightning Bolt. Okay, Brazen Borrower. Forest Island Mountain. So yeah, we're just going to get Basic Island here. See if the opponent wants to consider. I think we'll do this in upkeep, because then the opponent has to have exactly Spell Pierce, whereas if we wait, they can find land counterspell. Okay, they do have the Spell Pierce. So we'll go for another one in our turn. Hope they don't go land Spell Pierce. Okay, so we can go suspend. I mean, yeah, the opponent's just been super stuck on lands here. Got some good stuff to follow up as well. But yeah, this is a key matchup that we really need to be comfortable with. Could be Shredder here. Petty Theft. Okay. So let's bash him for 4. I think I'm just going to play Seasoned Pyromancer, get rid of Fury. We'll get rid of Dead Gone and Fury, I think. We can play the Boseiju. Dead Gone's actually pretty good at getting rid of their Borrower, I suppose. Although the Borrower can't block anything. So you got 6, 7, 8 power here. Okay. They bolt a Rhino and bolt a Rhino, which is fine for us. Combat, attack for 4. play out the land, pass the turn. Yeah, we're not, you know, we're not clear here. You know, we're not, you know, we haven't just won, but I mean that's pretty good for us. So we just go Brazen Borrower this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's fine. Cast our own Borrower. And fetch as well for good measure. Then we're really putting pressure on. Opponent dead to Violent Outburst. Play a land. We can play around spell pierces and stuff better by continuing to play the lands. We've got lots of lethal creatures. Opponent finally plays their land. They could play Murktide, but they're still dead through that. Murktide removal spell. Still dead through that. Okay. So opponent getting pretty unlucky. I mean, they kept a 1-lander, but then did never find anything. Okay, so all these endurances in. All these mystical disputes in. Force of Negation out. Struggling to remember exactly what we did last time, but I think we cut one of these, couple of Furies, and then was it another deck gone potentially? Was it Arcane Proxy? I think Arcane Proxy's fine. Has this got flying? No. I think another Fury. Okay, so this is okay. I think we will keep it just about. You know, it's the hand functions. We've got answers to, you know, turn 1 Ragavan or Dragon's Rage Channeler. We can play around Blood Moon pretty well. We've got Fire Ice. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's see what we have on top. Dead gone. Okay, well, the opponent thinks, you know, oh, seeing that on top, that's annoying, but I mean, we have 2 more in hand anyway, so just shock this in. Do this right now. Pass the turn. I guess they could have baubled before playing it, but okay, I think we'll go and get basic forest here. Probably. Yeah. So basic forest. Just play a little bit around Blood Moon. Ice. Okay, Mystical Dispute's a nice draw. So I really want to go and get basic island. Okay, we find that anyway. So let's go island pass. Don't want a Seasoned Pyromancer there. So I think we're just going to ice again. I think that's fine. Okay, more lands. Don't really like, but I'm going to need more green mana. I really want to draw something instant speed, Violent Outburst or Endurance. Okay, let's go this. I think we're going to go Seasoned Pyromancer here. Go grab Stomping Ground. I think that's fine. I think we really need some plays. This way we can counter a counterspell or an Archmage's Charm. I think we're just pitching 2 lands here. Well, those were some good ones. Okay, so next turn we can go Outburst, Hold Up Dispute. petty thefting our Pyromancer is fine with us. Yeah, we get to use it again potentially. Ledger Shredder. I'm going to Mystical Dispute that one. It's just so good against us. Spell Pierce. Okay. That's pretty good. Do we just go dead gone, dead gone? No, because then they can get out of it. Okay. That's not bad. Might try and return it to their hand. Okay, let's do that now. Maybe we should just be going for... Maybe we should just be going for Violent Outburst there. But we're at 14. Ledger Shredder is a big pain. Okay. So this quite possibly means they have Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm. If we find a land though, we could go ice the land, second main, play Shardless Agent. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a land here. Untapped land would be nice. Okay, Borrower is actually quite good. Let's do that now. They could Spell Pierce, we'll pay. I think we're just trying to tempo them out at the moment. And then we'll ice a land in their upkeep. Yeah, so we'll go... Okay, they consider... I guess we're a bit worried about Murktide. But we've got another Dead Gone. So let's go ice this. Okay, Mystical Dispute's actually pretty good. Okay, so this looks like Murktide, so we'll go Dead Gone, hold up Mystical Dispute. But then we lose to Flusterstorm, I guess. Okay, so we'll play the land. I wonder if here we're better off just going Shardless Agent, make the tokens. So they've got 5 cards in hand. Shardless Agent, make some Rhinos. They hit for 6, we hit for 10. I actually quite like that. Yeah, I think that's probably better here. And it means that we don't have to worry about conniving the Ledger Shredder. Okay, so no Pierce. No Flusterstorm there. They could have EE, I suppose. We can also block the Murktide, potentially. Okay. So they attack for 6, we attack for 10. If they just go Shredder, we'll dispute here. Yeah, happy to dispute that one, I think. Okay, another Spell Pierce. But no conniving this turn. Okay, so now we'll go for Dead Gone, get rid of... that's not a bad draw as well. Let's go... Although if they block here, I think we can just attack with the Rhinos actually, because Dead does a very good job here. Yep. I think that's fine. Kill the Murktide. And then this turn they go that. We could Violent Outburst now. They get to Shredder. But that Violent Outburst is always going to Shredder anyway. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, it doesn't play as well into... Why are they keeping in Spell Snare? I guess we've got Brazen Borrowers and stuff. This doesn't play as well into Engineered Explosives, but given that they Unholy Heated a Rhino, I think that's probably fine. You know, I think that it would probably be a top deck if they found that. And we need to keep putting the pressure on. That's a good one for them. Misty Rainforest. Obviously Spyro's nice. Oh, they do have the Engineered Explosives, which is rough. Although I guess we wouldn't have had any Rhinos anyway, so... Okay. So we find a land. Let's go combat. Attack with everything. Yep. Opponent gets red. They go to 11. We've got blockers though. Let's play the land and go 1, 2, 3. Spyro, draw 2 cards. Both lands. That's pretty horrendous. But we've got next turn we're attacking in for, well, potentially, what's that? Oh, another iteration's pretty good. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. Don't think we'll crack this Foothills if we can avoid it. Ragavan. Okay, they play Ragavan, they get to connive. We've got some good draws, more Brazen Borrowers, Endurance isn't bad, Dead Gone. So they can play Brazen Borrower to block our Brazen Borrower. So we don't mind drawing another Mystical Dispute either. Let's cast this. Yeah, really could have done with drawing something other than those cards. Alright, let's see what we draw. Well, that's a good one. So we can't attack with Brazen Borrower. We could go Fury, kill this. If they do anything, then we can attack with Brazen Borrower. Because we can't... I guess if they play... What are we attacking him for? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? But then they flash that in and we die, so we have to keep Brazen Borrower back. So let's attack in with, I think maybe just Pyro. No, we're going with both because then we're going to play the Fury. Yeah, unsurprising, see no blocks there. We'll play a land, and then we'll just go Fury. Oh, they have the counter spell. Okay. Oh, so actually that we're dead to. Oh, we're not dead to double spell here. Dead to double spell, including removal. Maybe we just don't block here. We know that one of their cards is this. Do we block here? I actually think our best chance to win is not blocking. Although they wouldn't have attacked if they... Oh, they can block with this. So we go block, they deal this. But then we're still at 7. Actually, we get another chance next turn. This can't block. So I think actually, yeah, we'll block here. Because we know they've got at least one spell. So actually, yeah, I think blocking is the best chance here. We go to 5. Crashing Footfalls. Well, that's a good one to get off the top of the deck. So, what can we find? Endurance is good. They play a land. So we know they've got... We don't know what they've got. Let's see what we find. Dispute. That doesn't deal with that. So I think we have to... there's no real way of doing this now. Although I guess we're not technically dead if we don't attack. Let's do that. They've only got 2 cards, so we could potentially live through... Oh no, because they're going to play another flyer, right? 3, that's 7 damage. When we go for the dispute, they'll pay, and then we lose. Yep, okay. So, yeah, really needed to draw something from that Seasoned Pyromancer when we found 2 lands. I think that was a pivotal turn. I don't think we want to change too much else. I think actually what we... On the draw, I think we can afford to keep more Furies in just to deal with Ledger Shredder, because Ledger Shredder pretty much... Maybe we should... Prismari Command as well, actually. Ledger Shredder pretty much tempoed us out of the game because we just couldn't really deal with it, and then it kept getting bigger and bigger. It blocks Rhinos. I think, yeah, having more answers to that in the deck is good. Yeah, let's see how we go with that. Well, this hand is really good, but we are missing another land, so we're gonna have to mulligan. Unfortunately, this is fine. We'll keep it put. I think it's just this on the bottom, so we don't take as much damage. Then go this fet. We could play this, then go... No, we just go get Breeding Pool with this. Yeah, I think we'll put that on the bottom. So we want double forest. Okay, let's go grab Breeding Pool. Yep. Suspender Footfalls, pass the turn. We are very weak. We are pretty weak to a Ragavan here. The targeting themselves, so that implies they're not going to play anything this turn. Okay. So, what do we find? Well, we just got rid of you. Just play a Steam Vents tap past the turn. Not too disappointing to find another land though. We'll definitely counter a Ledger Shredder here. And then, I was really hoping the opponent would go for it then. They tap their lands. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. And then we'll just go Violent Outburst. 2 baubles from the opponent. So we'll go Violent Outburst, make a load of Rhinos. Finding Fire Ice, just go Fiery Islet. Yeah, this is let's get into like engineered explosives again, but with 2 counters on the other one, and with the amount of Flusterstorms and Spell Pierces and stuff like that they play, I think we're happy just making the tokens here. You know, if they want to EE this turn, they can't, you know, progress their board potentially. We've got Fire Ice as well. Yeah, they could Blood Moon us, I guess, but Murktide would only be a 3/3. Not too concerned about that. If we can untap here, I quite like our chances, I think. They haven't got Delirium, so they can't Unholy Heat one yet. Okay, they played the land before the iteration. Okay, so that's putting Sorcery into the graveyard. I guess they're playing around Force here. So I think they probably have some sort of, yeah, they've got some sort of 1-mana counter spell. So yeah, we're just gonna bash in for 8 here. We'll play that and probably go and get a basic. Attack. Actually, we need double. We've got double green, I suppose. Okay, they Unholy Heat one, which is fine. Okay, so let's go ice this one. Icing the one that they don't have to take any damage for. Crashing Footfalls is not the best draw here. We are now a little bit weak to Murktide Regent. EE. So when are our Rhinos coming down? So we're going to fetch Shock, kill that. So we're going to get Stomping Ground. Boseiju. They'll probably blow it up to kill this Rhino. Yeah. Okay. But then we get to cast some more. Really want to find like endurance here. Let's sacrifice this, I think. Okay, they heat another one. Okay, I think we will suspend here. Yeah, we're really cold to Murktide now. Don't really know what's gone on here. Kind of flooded out a little bit. Like Murktide's really bad for us here. Okay, they kill all of our Rhinos. If they now have Murktide Regent, which fortunately they don't, by the look of it, we're going to get basic forest. Okay. See what we can draw. Endurance still our best draw. That's good. I think we're going to go for that actually. I think it's better than doing nothing. And then it also stops us drawing our other Cascader potentially. Maybe we should have waited to play around Spell Pierce. Oh, they had Flusterstorm anyway. But Shardless Agent at least stops Ragavan. I think we left Arcane Proxy in. Endurance also targeting ourselves is not too bad. Okay, so yeah, the trouble is, as soon as the opponent finds Murktide Regent, they draw a card. Yeah, we're probably dead. How many turns? 3 more turns before that. Iteration's also bonkers here. Hopefully they don't find Murktide in the top 3. EE in the top 3 is not bad. Hopefully no Murktide. Really would quite like Endurance. Okay, Fiery Islet's interesting. We could use it to... We could just cast Fury here. But I feel like they've definitely got a counter spell. So let's sacrifice this. Okay, well that's another one, but Crashing Footfalls, we actually don't have any more to cast. So I think we're just going to cast it because why not? You know, it puts another, you know, we've now got 4 power on the field. Opponent's at 9. It's not the worst here, and we've got Rhinos coming in a couple of turns. Brazen Borrower are one of our better draws actually. Well, there's a Violent Outburst. I think we'll just attack here. What's this? Otawara? Subtlety. Okay, so yeah, we'll Violent Outburst here. You know, it clears the subtlety, deals an extra point of damage. So it puts the opponent to 6. We've got Rhinos coming in, I believe, next turn. Opponent plays a land. Bolt there, sure. Like Endurance is still our best draw, or Brazen Borrower. So we'll make them. Do we cycle that? I think so. Or do we just play it so we can Fury next turn? Do we cycle it right now? Yeah, let's cycle it now. I think we've got some good draws we can find. Seasoned Pyromancer is good. Okay, they blow up the Rhinos. We're in deep trouble to a Murktide is the problem. Okay, our turn again. Okay, we're going to go Seasoned Pyromancer here. Opponent probably counters. They don't. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, well we draw some good ones. Really don't know what the opponent's got in hand. But Brazen Borrower, Mystical Dispute, yeah, we like those. I don't know where our endurances are. We can't quite counter that one, but we can counter if they find a Murktide Regent. Really don't know what they've got in hand. Okay, Delta. Okay, so we'll bash in for 4. Ah, there's the endurance. Okay, great. Attack for 4. If the opponent plays another subtlety, that's fine. They get a 2. Okay, I'm going to get endurance now. Counterspell. Yeah, we'll dispute. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Oh, yeah, okay. So that's pretty bad. Maybe we should have waited. I guess we know. Yeah, we should have known that they've got all reactive spells in hand. But they are at 1. We've got 4 lethal creatures and a Brazen Borrower in hand, so I guess Fury? Oh, right, well, opponent just didn't find anything and we get there. So yeah, that was a mistake at the end. We should have gone Fury, we should have gone Endurance in their upkeep. I was trying to play around subtlety, but I think playing around all of that was better. Really should have had a better read on what they had in their hand. But 4-1 again, beating Murktide twice. I think getting closer and closer to locking this deck in for the Mega Modern. Really happy with it. So yeah, as usual, thanks for everyone for watching. Hope you have a good rest of the day wherever you are. Please do subscribe if you enjoyed it. Playing quite a lot of Rhinos at the moment, so mixed in with other decks, of course. But yeah, and any suggestions, do leave them in the comments below. But for now, we'll see you again next time. Cheers.